Oh, yeah. Brought back an oldie but a goodie for that one. That was the one that I got banned over a few years back. Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome to the Humpday Happy Hour hangout here at the Director's Garage. I'm your host and resident, Idiot Michael, and it's been career week for me here at the Director's Garage. I have taken more meetings this week than I have taken in any point in time since I lost my job last fall. So things are really moving in a certain direction. I'm not sure where they're moving yet. Every time I think we've got it sort of, okay, well, it looks like this is the general direction, everything just kind of flips around. So we're still working on it. We're still working on what the next moves are, but I've got a lot of prospects now that didn't happen. I'll kind of explain what happened. So when I got laid off in September, and put your questions in the chat. I have no agenda today. I'm going to talk. We may go and take a look at what's for sale on HeadFi. I always love that segment, so we may do that in a little bit. But put your questions, comments, anything in the chat you want to talk about today. And talk about anything. I got no agenda today. But when I first got laid off, my focus was on the film industry. And I was trying to hook up with the studios to direct interviews with celebrities who had movies coming out and handle the promotional aspect of the films direct with the studios. I had been doing it with a news organization for a long time, and obviously that job ended. So I thought maybe I could circumvent the whole news angle of it and just go and do it for the studios direct. That tack proved to be a little harder to crack than I thought it would be. I thought, because a lot of people were saying, hey, we want to use you. We want to use you. Of course, you're somebody we know from all these things, and we could easily slot you in. Great. But they stopped calling. so stop calling. It's like, well, it's great that you... I got to get some light on me, huh? It's great that, you're talking about hiring me, but unless you actually, hire me, this can't go on. So my focus was kind of in the frustrations of, I got a couple of jobs where I was able to do that. I did some premieres and things like that in the fall, but it was nothing consistent, but I thought that maybe January was the month that everything would take off and get moving in Los Angeles because it's a new year. Budgets change, budgets evolve, a lot of the budgets move at the 30th of June, but there are some that reset in January, and there's a whole new movie slate. So I thought that January would be really busy, and then the fires hit out here. And then we had our own personal problems with the fire, and it became apparent to me last week that my Plan A attack was a complete failure. I am not afraid to admit failure, boys. But it wasn't working. So I started going this week, in the last probably 10 days, really, since we got off the air last week, I started going to a Plan B approach, which is looking at work in other cities, looking at other things I could do in this city, and some doors have started opening. I don't have anything to announce yet, unfortunately. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you all is good, got a job, going to be great, or whatever it is. But we're still figuring it out. And part of that plan may be moving. I'm looking at some jobs in some other cities. I've talked openly on this show about the desire to go to Tennessee, perhaps. So I'm investigating work there. But I'm also looking at what I could do still in LA if things pop up. And some things have happened here, too, that could lead to something. So this week has been extremely career-focused, except last night. Last night, I took some time and I actually did some headphone listening, which is what the topic of the kind of show is about, not about my job. But I spent the night with a recommendation from Neil Snyder, who is in the audience. I can just looking at the thing. Holly just came into the room. I've got the curtains closed because it's a little bright outside. I try to take the light off me, and then replace it with fake light. But he snuck through the curtains. He just came in from outside his little cat door. and we'll talk more about the job, but last night, Neil Snyder had recommended on the Hangover Hangout, which happened last Saturday, which is our group's private meetup. We do a Zoom call where everybody's got cameras, and it was so cool last week because Christopher, one of our regulars there, he's a conductor in Germany, and he had gone to Switzerland to conduct an orchestra, and while he was there, he got a tour of the Christopher Ward watch factory, and he was showing us off his watch. And I thought that was so cool. It was like, just the interaction of that show is phenomenal. We weren't terribly focused last Saturday. We kind of zipped around all over the map. But one of the recommendations, we always walk away from that show with album recommendations. We'll spend at least 25 minutes to a half an hour on just music that you love that we need to check out. And Neil Snyder gave us this album called Dance Macabre. It was it's the title of a Stephen King book if you're looking for what to look up, but it's a classical album of these great dark orchestral themes. Escape from Witch Mountain and Sorcerer's Apprentice, these Disney kind of songs. But it's rich and it's beautiful. It's a huge orchestra, and it's a great recording from 2015. Huge. And I spent the last night on the X9000, the E-Stat rig, through my Ray Samuels amp back here, which is cooled off finally. Gets a little warm on those fins sometimes, but just had a really nice hour of terrific, fun music. And the Dance Cheeky Fest. I'm just looking, and I'm skipping everybody. I'm just because I get popped up here. But Dance Macabre is one of the pieces on this album. But check it out. Check it out if you can. I don't think I have it called up anywhere. Let's see if I can find it. Sure, at 2015. We're going to do some laptop stuff in a little bit, but let's see if I can find it. Cover. Let's see if that'll pop up some images. This is it. Okay, so I'll zip to this. I got to do some video window arranging, but yeah, we can go to the MacBook Pro in here. So this album here in the corner, this is what you're looking for. Check this out. This was wonderful. Kent Nagano, a phenomenal Montreal Symphony Orchestra. Beautiful, fun and dark and angry but with a little bit of whimsy in it too. Terrific recording, and that came from Neil Snyder. And I spent the last night with it. I thought it was fantastic. It was so fun. And it was nice to get back to some headphone listening, something I have not been doing much of, to be honest, being perfectly honest. It's just no time, and I've had so many other things to focus on beyond this little show of mine, and we'll get back to it within reasonable time. I would have had episodes out by now, but with everything else that's happened in addition to work situation, it's been hard to devote time to that. But because I have a review coming up of this Ever Solo, this demo unit that was sent to me from Audio 46. A beautiful streaming device that I unboxed in a couple of episodes again, and I know everybody's waiting for the shootout video. We'll get there. It'll all happen. Just have some patience with me. We've been through a lot. We're going to go through some more. But this is going to be very chat driven, so please fill the chat up with any comments, any thoughts, and welcome everybody, and we'll have a happy Wednesday for probably about an hour or so today. I've got a little contact meeting right after this live stream that I'm excited about because it's a job opportunity in Los Angeles, which makes everything a lot easier if I can find work in LA. It'd be fantastic. Kevin says, first one here, he hopes Michael announces that he's moving. Back on topic. LA seems completely off the rails and super unsafe right now. No, it's not unsafe. We had some unsafe moments when the power was out here, and we felt really unguarded, and we wound up, the street wound up, somebody got somebody to get us a security guard for a few days. That really sort of helped things. There were a couple of nights though that were pretty sketch up here. It was very, I was not comfortable. Let's say that. It was not. It wasn't good. But if I'm moving from LA, that announcement will come. But we're still. I have to have a place to go to first, and I don't have that worked out. If a job comes through in another city and I like it and it's something that I want to do and I'm passionate about it, yeah, we're gonna go check it out. We have some targets. Really love the Chattanooga area. We drove through it over the holidays, and that was one area that we went, wow, this is a great city. This is a great city, small city, but a great city. Real downtown area, a lot of fun, and I thought that was a place that would be fun to live in. With mountains all over the place, it's very much but it's an Eastern vibe. It's just a different thing. But it could be fun. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just going to come down to where work comes in. But we're heavily pushing on that today. One of the things I did differently this week than I'd done in past weeks, I really pulled out my old contact list and really started going through and contacting everyone in my old contact list, and that has paid some dividends. Or phone calls leading to phone calls leading to phone calls, and somebody sort of set my mind straight on things I need to prioritize, and I'm like, that makes sense. I just, sometimes you get so deep in the thick of things, you stop thinking logically. And that happens sometimes, I guess. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I really haven't been doing that, and I really need to do that. So expanding my horizons and trying some different things, and we'll see where this pays off. But, I'm getting to the point where I really need to work again. I'm getting stir crazy, so there you go. Alanana says, made it in time. Let's see if I get pulled away. Well, I hope you don't. I hope you get to put your feet up on the old desk here and relax and have a little relaxing time with some friends. That's what this is about. It's just, there's no pressure here. Cheeky Fest just watched the replay of your last live stream. That was a good one. Then we talked about the Audeze thing. That was very exciting. I have not heard from Audeze at all about when or where that Carbon 2 might come to fruition. I did drop my Carbon 1 off there to get upgraded, but they're saying it's going to be a while. So we're going to be waiting. I think they need parts. That was sort of the feeling I got. Okay, it's a bidding war for Michael's talents. Yeah, bidding war. If I got one bid, I'd be like, sold. That's great. JTV. That's awesome. Hey there, folks. I am Jonathan making it in. Jonathan, we talked about you last week a bit. Because we were all talking about that, that you brought the Raul Emanis to the Audeze show, and even the Audeze guys wanted to hear it. They were excited about it. So a lot of fun. Love that headphone. Good times. Timothy Egan says, interesting how well the factory tour lines up with the originally Willy Wonka in so many ways. If you could play that soundtrack along with it, it might make it more entertaining. But was really cool. Just so glad that they did that. Film industry, Kevin Jock says the film industry in Hollywood is completely dead. Atlanta's taking its place. Partially true. There is still some stuff happening, and there are some things coming this year that will push back on that a bit, but it's a ways away. It's probably 9 months, 10 months away. There's some changes to the tax structure that's going to happen that go into effect July 1st. There's going to be a lag on that, though. It's just different. Neil Snyder is in Washington, D.C. this week working on the Senate hearing room to keep the BS from piling up on the floor. It's a nasty cleanup job. Unfortunately, you can't keep up. You're up to your ears in it. If that's what you're doing, Neil. I suspect that was in jest, though. Okay. Kevin says, you're right. I know an LA actress who left for Atlanta for work. Yeah. Atlanta is a hotbed. The tax structure down there is very favorable for the film industry. There are several production. Marvel Studios has a massive investment in the Atlanta area. They have about, I think it was 38 sound stages was the last time I was there, and they may have even expanded beyond that. They've made it a where they're going to go, their go-to. They were filming in New Mexico for a long time, and they've moved all operations to the Atlanta area for that reason. Tyler Perry has his massive studio set up there that all of those Tyler Perry productions come from. And that's part of why, another reason why Chattanooga sounds like a good idea to me, because I am only a couple hours from Atlanta, and I'm also a couple hours from Nashville. Both have a lot of production going on. So does Knoxville, for that matter. They've got a lot of true crime stuff up in Knoxville. Welcome to Career Hour on the Director's Garage. Tiki Fest. Who's the orchestra? It's the Montreal Symphony Orchestra. That's the Orchestra Symphonique de Montreal. On the Dance Macabre. But it's phenomenal. Just go check it out, guys. You're going to have a good time with it. Even if you're not into classical music, this is pop. This is more like Boston Pops. It's like that type, but it's big orchestra. So a lot of fun. I just enjoyed it. Lil Man, the OG, says, to me, with the streaming going on, it seems like people film everywhere. A lot of productions be in Toronto. Crazy, I hear. That is true. Toronto, Canada is a very vibrant production community. Not just Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. All those cities have huge production beds. The issue with the Canadian stuff is Canada has laws about the percentage of your production that has to be Canadian hired. So if they bring in a U.S. actor, they usually have to make sacrifices on the crew to make them Canadian. That's just part of the deal. Greetings from Canada, says Nephilim81. Speaking of that, hope all these things are stringing together pretty nicely today. Hope all's going well. By the way, and Hungary, Budapest is one of the hotbeds of production right now. Europe, huge, doing very, very well. And Budapest is leading the way in that. Couple of areas over there that are really hot for shooting. Greetings from cold Canada. Hope all is well, especially you, Michael. I know it's going to take some time. It'll take time, but you know what? We're going to get through it. It's just life, man. And I've had, I'm not going to paint a rosy scenario. I've had a couple of down moments. The 2 weeks prior were a little bit more on the downside. This week has been very positive. I'm very up and very excited about the possibilities. I don't know where they're going to take us, but it feels more like an adventure this week than a problem, than a struggle, than a string of problems. So I'm totally staying positive. And I'm upbeat about the future. I've got another interview tomorrow. I've got this conversation coming in about an hour that I'm going to have with somebody about something in LA that's a possibility. There were a couple of production posts that I saw today that I might follow up on. Maybe. I got to do the math on them. One of them's like $10,000, and I'm like, well, it sounds good, but what's the period? They didn't say. It's like $10,000 for a month of work? Well, that's okay. $10,000 for 8 weeks of work? Not so good. But it just depends on what it is. So I have to follow up on some of that stuff. But they came across my desk. By the way, and if you have any viewer systems, I didn't get any viewer systems. Gene, Gene, our one of our Hangout guys, sent me a photo to the Zoom chat, but I want Gene, if you're out there, I'd love to show that system off on the show here. If you would send me that, and I'd like to share it with folks because it's a really fun system, lots of cool stuff in it. But if you have a viewer system to show off, I don't have any this week, but please send your viewer systems. Doesn't matter if they are $10,000 systems, $20,000 systems, or $20 systems, a pair of earbuds and your phone. We just like to see what other people are checking out, and we're not going to make fun of them. We're not going to take shots at anything. It's just cool to see what other people are into. So make sure you're sending that over to the address on your screen, the directorsgarage@gmail.com. There you go. And if you're interested in the Patreon, head over to my Patreon. Director's Garage is the page over at Patreon. I think it's all one word. And you can check out that. And you can also, I'm going to do a whole line of promotion right now. You can support the channel by going to Audio 46. And anything you buy there, type in the coupon code Director's Garage, all one word. You get yourself a 5% discount on most of the gear they carry. And then we have the Patreon and Amazon. Any of the Amazon links in the description below this live stream, you click over there, you do some shopping, whatever it is. You don't have to buy whatever it's clicking on. Just do some shopping over at Amazon, and I get a little percentage for linking you there. It's called an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you a cent. It just throws some love back to the garage, free of charge on your end. You don't even feel it. So that would be cool too. You can do all of those things, and I'm very pleased that some of you do. It's nice when we're not making any money anywhere else. Sitting around here all day playing video games, man. Playing Doom. Does anybody play Doom anymore? That was like one of those games back in the day when we all had PCs and were in college. We'd all play Doom. Maybe I'm dating myself. Okay. Remember when we had Pong? Pong was a big deal when I was growing up. Neighbors had it. Oh, the neighbors got the new Pong. Tune into Channel 3. You guys remember that stuff? So fun. Oh, it was great. It was great. Okay, Cheeky Fest says, symphonic poems, a.k.a. tone poems, descriptive orchestral pieces, which are supposed to tell some kind of story. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. And just enjoyable. They're fun. They're fun to listen to. There's a lot of instruments and clever things happening to give you a mood. It's like these are vibe pieces. They're wonderful. So go check that out if you can, and rewind if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. We talked about an album earlier in the show to check out, and I was so enthralled by it. The Neil Snyder's recommendation that I spread the love. I thought I'd share it with you guys. I had a good time last night listening to that. Okay, Little Man the OG, Mike, it's all good. Glad your family's doing safe and in one piece. It could definitely be a different situation. No shtick. Yeah, that was, we were lucky. We dodged a bullet. We came within, and even then, who knows if there's still stuff, one of the most depressing things from last week, and the reason it was, it was kind of a downer was, I had to, I tried to keep things tidy around the director's garage, and we have this little waterfall-y pond out front, and it's just man-made, but it's really a fun little thing. And the guys who, when it was fixed up, because there was this water feature that was a mess out front of our house, and we had a guy come over and organize it and make it into this little area, a fun little water feature. And we had put fish in it, and we had about 40 fish in there, and there were about 12 fish left after the fire. The soot and the ash from the burning and moving of all this toxic material got in the water, poisoned the water. And last week when I went to clean the thing out, the fish were alive earlier. They'd made it a few days, but I had a massive casualty list last week, so I was really sad when. And naturally, I have a wife. Mrs. Director likes to name things, so she named every single one of the 40 fish, and I'm like, yeah, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. You know, Hungary is gone. All these fish. It was sad. It's like, God, this has just been such a bad thing. You know, we're trying to make the positive out of it, but man. You know, when all your fish are dead, and it's because of some house that, you know, something out of your control. It's like, I mean, at least we're not dead, and our neighbors aren't dead. Nobody's dead, but the fish were dead. Kind of sucked. We're over it, though, boys. We're on to the next thing. Cheers. Pull out your beers. David Kirshner says, do you remember Don Kirshner, the Rock Hour? Remember that on the radio? That was so fun. What a fun era that was. When they concerts were a much bigger deal when I was like in my like when I was in high school. You know, if U2 was being broadcast on like WXRT in Chicago and they had like a feature, or the Loop, WLUP, all those radio stations, like we would tape that stuff. It was so cool that, oh man, we got this concert. And then you'd trade it with your buddy. Hey, check out this concert I taped last week. So excellent. I don't think they do that as much anymore. It's not, or at least it's not that big a deal. I don't recall it being like, oh, you know, I'm listening to the LA radio station and they played this concert last night, you know, live. But now they do, you know, like they don't do it like they used to. Kind of miss those days. David, can't wait for that Ever Solo review. He wants to add a streamer to his chain at some point. Yeah. And I think what I'll give you a little bit of a preview on that. I love this little device here. In a world where I had funds and all of that, it would be hard for me to let this A6 go from Eversolo. I don't use it as I think that most people will use it, in that they'll buy it, they'll put it on their desk, and they'll hook it up directly to their amplifier. I don't think the DAC inside of this box is where I want it to be personally, where I like a DAC. I think it does the job and it's fine. And if you have a budget system and you don't have the most detailed resolving headphones in the world, this is a nice little device, and for not a lot of money you get a lot of value here. But you have to go up the ladder to get into their better DAC chips, and that's where this device really becomes powerful on its own. But I like it as a front end to my listening experience. I have Rune on my computer feeding this box, and it's sort of the quarterback that sends the digital signal off to the DCS to decode and do its magic with. And I love having this little controller just off to the side of me, and I can look over and you can instantly see what's playing. You can see all of the information about it, and it's got a touch screen on it. If you want to change tracks or jump to a different track, this will interact with you. And I'm excited about this in this system. I'm just going to have to let it go when I'm done reviewing it. And the Audio 46 has been terrific about not pressuring me to get this back. They know what I've been going through. Rigo over there, Rodrigo, is all up on it, and I'm sure he's shared things with Tony over there. Just an outstanding bunch of folks over at Audio 46. They're one of my favorite folks, people to deal with in this hobby. But this little A6 is phenomenal. Just love it. I just would say don't have high expectations for the DAC chip. You got to go up the ladder in their run to get into the better DACs. And that's what I would be doing if this was going to be the centerpiece of my system. That A10 at about $3,600, I think it is. It's the next level of this. Let's go to Audio 46. There you go. And we'll take a look. Let's get you over there so you can see what I'm doing. And I think it's one of their featured products right now. Let's see. There it is. Whoops, back. This, first of all, I love that they've sort of redesigned it and they put some heat sinks on it. That's good. It's going to keep it nice and cool. It's got a larger screen and it's got this funky volume knob that's got your, it gives you the decibel, you know, your level information right on it. And it's got much better DAC inside of it. And a clock system too. Yeah, it's the way to go, I would think. But it's not cheap. This is not entry-level stuff. This is, you know, you're paying a pretty good price for this. It's more in line with, you know, I'd love to get this and the Hi-Fi Rose in here because I think both of those devices are spectacular. But this is an outstanding streamer, and I think it's a good deal. I think that this is a sound product. The menu system on this is gorgeous. The video screen on it is gorgeous. Yeah, nothing but good things to say about the Eversolo stuff. So far, it's a recommendation, and I'll get into the quirks and things that I couldn't do with this box when we do the full review. That's coming up, and I just, you know, patience, boys, patience. That's all I can tell you. We'll get back to regular shows. We're licking wounds here. Okay. Yeah, but David, you're right. This is a worthy component. They built this thing well. I'm crazy impressed with it. I can't think of anything. You know, it is like the Hi-Fi Rose, but it's way more cost-effective, cheaper, I would say, than the Hi-Fi Rose. The Hi-Fi Rose has that beautiful, like, all-front screen that's fantastic. I should call that up. Can I get Hi-Fi Rose here? I don't think they have it at Audio 46, but let's see if that works. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to this. And they have these great, go back to this. Let's go back. That's the streamer, but I love their layout. This looks like an old Nagra deck, the way they do their layouts on this stuff. This is the RS-130. This is the one. No, go back. Here we go. Look at this thing. The whole front screen is a touch screen. And it's just, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous stuff. This is going to run you about $5,000 though. This is going to be in the 5,000s. But, whew, 1920 by 382 full HD front screen. So you get gorgeous graphics on the thing. And it's a transport. And it's got all this stuff. It's got a beautiful clock on it and all that stuff. Just amazing. So this is another thing I would love to get in here and try out at some point. That would be a desirable review. But I love gadgets, and that's a great gadget. That's fun. The screen alone speaks to me. Jonathan says halfway through watching the Hangover Hangout he missed on Saturday. Hope you're well. Love to keep you anyway. Love to help you in any way I can. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Jonathan, and we're doing fine. We're just working out what the plans are going to be. Life could take any one of a number of turns right now. You know, on those road signs where, you know, they show the arrow up and then they show like a split, and, you know, like three-way split or something, and you can. We're right at the bottom of that. Like, we're facing that tree right now, and we're not sure what's going to happen. It could be anything. It's an adventure. Anthony says Eversolo just launched a Mark 11 on both A6 models. Oh, it's great. I know that I had a software update on this yesterday, and when I turned it on, so automatically, the software update on this thing too, guys, it was so easy and so fast. It's just, do you want to do it? Yes. And a couple minutes later, it's like, boom, your new software is installed. We're ready to go. I'm like, why can't everybody make it that easy? Some of these devices, it's like you've got to go to their website, download a file. It can only be to a PC formatted drive, and then that's got to be put on, that drive has to be loaded onto the system. You have to turn it on in a certain order, tell it to go look for this thing in this folder, and then it will do the upgrade. And it's like this thing, like, oh, internet connection. Hey, there's new software. You want to install it? Why, sure I do. Done. Fabulous. What a great design. That's really thinking with the user in mind. And everything about this thing screams of user friendly. And tasty graphics. Okay. Little man says, go to North Carolina and work down in Atlanta. That's a possibility. I think we're leaning more toward Tennessee because my mom is there, and my mom is turning 80 this year. And that's important for me. That's something that I think as a human, I hit the jackpot of mothers and parents. I freaking love my mother, and I would have no problem. It'd be great to be near her. So if I'm moving, it makes sense to get closer to her so that I can go and check in on her and help her out when she needs help, but also be around her and get to spend time with her more. That's something that I've missed since she left last summer for Tennessee. So there you go. Kevin Jackson says, curious if Audio 46 would ever send you the Gen 2 Eversolo A6 for comparison. Probably not while I have the A6. I'm not a big enough show, Kevin, for them to be dumping tons of gear on. We're a small player. This is a small show. They have places. I'm sure they have people that they've partnered with who have much bigger reach. I happen to give them, I think I give them the most love because I'm so appreciative of them. And I tell people to shop there all the time because I shop there myself, But, I don't know that they'd send me two, at once. That would be kind of silly. But from a business perspective on their end, I wouldn't expect them to. But I would certainly check it out. And after spending enough time with this, I have enough formed opinion on it to see what the changes were. But I'm really enamored with this little box here. I think it's just beautiful. Big fan. My desk is a mess, or I'd show you the overhead camera of it. Wires and this working, with all the dryness and the work I've been doing, this stuff, guys, I have no plug. I have no affiliation with these guys, but I'm telling you, this stuff will save your hands. Because I split my when it gets dry, like it's been, we just had some rains too, but when it gets really dry and I'm doing a lot of work with my hands, it's like, oh man, I split my finger, the tips of my fingers, the skin splits and it hurts like a working hands. I keep this stuff around all the time. Very good. IMJ says, Jonathan says, I really love being able to go to Audeze. He has lots of thoughts about the Carbon 2, even compared to the Imanis, but it was so wonderful to go, and it was wonderful to see Ken, Sejin, and you. Yeah, these are all guys who are part of our regular Hangover Hangout crowd, and I agree. And I know that they impressed you, Jonathan. I know that you thought that they were quite. They left an impression on you. I think that's safe to say without stretching things at all. I think that most of us who went there, in fact, everybody who went there, I think was somewhat wowed. If not like I want to buy it, but at least like, wow, this is really impressive with the Carbon 2. I'm on the higher end of the wow factor, and I'm like, man, I really want this in my stable. And I think you were kind of like leaning that way too, as I recall. And some of the other guys were like, well, these are great, but I don't know, kind of thing. And it's also, the electrostatics come with that, you got to get that dongle, which is an amplifier to drive them. Hipster Cow, speaking of Sajan. Howdy, gents. He's late. Great seeing you, Jonathan. Same, sir. Get together soon. List some gear. They're still making Doom games, and they're actually pretty good. I'll be damned. Are they really? God, I haven't been in the video game world in so long. Kind of, you get married, guys, and it's it's hard to explain to your wife that you're going to spend a night on a computer, you know, shooting little things or, you know, whatever, racing a car around a track. She doesn't get it. It's a guy thing, I guess. But yeah, my game time went down to almost nothing. You know, that's what you do. It'll be great though we're talking about getting a for the Patreon folks, we're talking about getting a room perhaps at the next Can Jam, and have a private listening session where everybody brings their hot stuff, and I can bring the B21 and some nice headphones and stuff, and do it in a safe place that's quiet. We could kind of have a little shootout in one of the rooms there. So we're in early stages talks about that. A lot of that will come down to if I have a job and if I'm here in Los Angeles at both points, which are kind of in the gray area right now. Chief S. He studied tone poems at college. A-level music, age 16 to 18, 1996 to 98. Oh, I love it. I was in college in the 80s, so I've got a few years on you and probably a little less hair. Kevin Chuck bought the DC Dan Clark Audio Noir X this week. Really phenomenal value for the price. I thought the Noir X the original Aeon 2 Noir was one of the best headphones they made, if not the best. Be sitting there at $900 for a long time. Yeah, it's, you know, phenomenal value for the price. Would love to buy a Modhouse Tungsten, but the wait time right now is over a year. I don't think that's the case anymore, Kevin. Double check now with Ryan Dietz over there. I think that wait time is down to about 6 months. But check with him. I think that he's been catching up and doing better on that. Caesar says, best of luck to you. What's the biggest show or movie that you have directed? Well, the biggest thing I've directed would be Entertainment Tonight. I worked for them for a long time, and you'd probably know my work from there. You would have seen my work. You wouldn't know me specifically from it, because TV directors are kind of more behind the scenes than film directors. But yeah, I did a lot of television stuff for a lot of years, and you can go look me up on, you know, LinkedIn or something, or IMDb. Although my IMDb doesn't have all my credits, but LinkedIn does. You can always check that out if you're that interested. It's you know, silly stuff, but you know, I've made a career and it's kind of fun, and always like to. So I'm looking for the next adventure now. So there you go. Bought DCA Noir. Oh, we did the Kevin Jacques thing. Yes. But within Entertainment Tonight, I've done some really fabulous projects. Like I went to Africa, and we shot we shot in a village that was being decimated by drought. I went to Africa another time, and we opened water pipelines into communities and documented that for ET. That was phenomenal. I think covering the royal weddings was unbelievable experience. You know, to be at the center of what everybody in the world is talking about. For the coronation, the death of the Queen, I was in London for that. I covered that heavily. I was in the front lines. I covered a tornado in Moore, Oklahoma that happened in 2013. It was a horrible F5 tornado that blew through that town, and we got sent for that. Covered George Floyd when the George Floyd thing was happening in Minneapolis, and the riots after his death. I was up there. So I've done and then inaugurations. I've been to a couple of inaugurations back in the day, covering those. And that was fun, driving all over Washington, D.C. at all hours of the day and night and into the morning. Very, very fun and vibrant stuff. Interviewed with interviewed presidents and all that stuff. Just fun. For a news person, that's these are big interviews. We love doing a president or a former president or somebody who's a newsmaker. It's exciting to do those. It's just as much as it is to interview Brad Pitt or George Clooney or any of those fun guys from Hollywood. There you go. If Gavin Newsom was a headphone, what would Nephilim? What would he be? I would say he would be an open back because he's very airy. I'm not saying if he'd be a dynamic. I think that he would be an open back, though. Okay. Nephilim says, Delta Airlines in-flight over ears. Howdy. Aces Fade says, don't want to get political, but since the DEI stuff is on its way out, I'm optimistic you're going to kill a job soon. Look, man, just because I'm white, 57, losing my hair, male, straight, and yeah, all these things that don't fit in with the typical Hollywood producer. I don't know, guys. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Apparently, Cord are going to do a streamer sometime in the future. Well, they've certainly dipped their toes in it. The little add-on modules to the Mojo and the Hugo are streamers. I think you need a phone to get them working, but they certainly have played with that in the past, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did a dedicated unit to go with their line. And if we go and check out, yeah, maybe we'll do that before we go. We'll go run through some pages on HeadFi and see what's for sale. I always love doing that segment. But if we go and do that, classifieds, let's go to page 1. I thought I was looking earlier and I thought I saw a Cord thing in there that might be interesting for somebody to pick up. Some Cord product was in there. I don't remember what. It's Hugo something or other. That'd be great. We should read Mark II model Michael. Michael Mark II. I don't know. Something's happening. We're gonna figure this out, Anthony. We'll do a good thing. Hipster Cow says, have you looked at the FiO K17 streamer? Love the aesthetics, no idea what it sounds like. No, I haven't checked it out. Let's see. FiO, what is it called? If I find it in the thing, K17. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, what's this, desktop amp? I just want to make sure I'm on the right thing. 8. AliExpress has got it. Is this the right? Tell me if this is the right thing. This is the K17 right here. It won't let me be a full picture. Darn you! Curse you! For not letting me blow this up. All right, whatever. Looks interesting enough. Yeah. Let's see if there's any other K17 DAC. Well, it looks good. I don't know. We'll have to. I can't. I wish I could find a better picture of it, but whatever. Damn internet. FiOS, but I also like the FiO boxes, like the little lunchbox size things. Those things look really cool too. I think that's exciting for me. That would be a fun little addition to any desktop, I think, because it's got a full touchscreen front panel, and it's shaped like a box, like this big. It's really nice. I saw them at Can Jam, but I didn't listen to them. Didn't spend time with them. Nephilim says, any Ultravox fans here? Totally recommend the 40th anniversary box sets. Yes, we talked about this last week, I think. Yeah, they're damn good. Of course they are, Ultravox. Love them. They're in that pocket of like late 70s, early 80s groups. Love them. I think they're fantastic. Anthony Behrman said, anybody had the chance to listen to the new iBasso 340? Absolutely not. Getting rave reviews for its price and performance. I've not seen that one. Anthony Behrman, he has it. It's fantastic DAP. Love that. That's good form. Love the form factor and the screen. He even sold his DX320 Max after getting the 340. All right, so now let's look it up. Two in a row comment about it. Let's take a look at what it is. All right, Basso, what's the number? 340. 340. Oh, it's, yeah, it's sharp looking. That's the 320. Guys, it's not what we were looking for. Here it is. Going to it now. Live to the internet. $16.99. Get you a flagship digital audio player. That looks really nice. It reminds me a little bit of the AK stuff with the cutouts in the back and stuff, but a little more boxy on the appearance. But very sharp. Nice big screen. Love that. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Those of you who invested in that Macbeth, what a great companion for that, huh? Lovely. I like the crown on it. Very nice little crown wheel. Very cool. Very cool stuff. I'm a fan. I'd love to check that out if I had the money. Don't have the money. So good. Jonathan says even drives headphones, including the Amanis, well enough. He would be totally okay bringing as a transportable solution. That's awesome. What a great recommendation, Jonathan. Love that. And thank you, Anthony, for calling it to our attention. But that's a huge recommendation from Jonathan. Anthony Berryman says, Jonathan, thanks for your answers. Very helpful. We'll look to pick one up at Bristol show next month or Can Jam London. Lovely. That's great. No, that's not it. What's not it? What did I get wrong? FiO K19 has an ESS DAC chip. The K17 has an AKM DAC chip. Did I have the wrong thing called up, fellas? K19, not K... Should I have been looking... Should I have been... Mr. Caps Locks. JTB, stop shouting at everybody. Should I have been looking at for something else? K7, K19? That's Aretha Franklin. Anybody get that one? Oh, this is cool. Here's the K19. Let's go to it. Interfaces with your computer, clearly. It's got a little more of a touch, a little more of a screeny screen on it. Is that what we're talking about? It's got a better, it looks like a little better front panel on it. Still wish, you know, they should do more with the screens, right? Aren't screens like the thing now? Isn't the standard going to be less computer related and more? I would just think that as we're getting into 2025, as old as we are, these touch screens are the future, boys. I really believe that. I think that they're going to, because music and graphics go so well together with album covers, any streamer that can, streaming box needs to these days have that graphic front end. It's got to have a front end that is easy to dissect as your phone, and I think that it's got to be as easy navigatable as some of these phone apps like Tidal or whatever, you know, like just push the buttons and go. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I think that they need to do better at that going forward. And these things with the displays, and I'll even knock DCS on this, because DCS, I mean, this is a video screen. They could do so much more with this video screen on the Lena, and they don't. But there could be a lot more here. You could give a lot more information. And really, for the price of this thing, these are the touch, these little lights down here, you can barely see them. Let me do it on the screen. Hang on. DCS, no, up here, boys. DCS Lena. Okay, let's go to this. Can I get a big picture, please? Yes. Okay. So let's go to this. So on the Lena, I mean, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, it's very clean design, beautiful. But these down here. You see where the arrow is pointing? These down here. This is how you control the Lena. You can do it through an app, which is fine. That makes it much easier if you just log onto it through an app, because everything is touchscreen at that point. But and easily. But everything is menus, and you have to use these four. And these are just touch buttons. They're you know, whatever, sensitive to touch, whatever. What am I thinking of? Tactile. But they're not physical buttons. They're just touch buttons. That's how you navigate this thing. And I'm like, at this point, and given where the industry has moved, this whole screen, first of all, this whole thing at the price of the Lena for $13,000 for this thing. This whole thing in Lena 2.0 needs to be a screen, right? Take the whole panel and make it a touch screen. And then show us graphics. Show us graphics. Show us beautiful album covers and give us meters like the Eversolo. The fact that this $13,000 unit is not doing what this $600 and some A6 is doing is criminal. Call the police. And I love DCS, and I love this. You know, I put my money where my mouth is. So this is the DAC I bought. But for that money, it ought to be doing what the Hi-Fi Rose and what the Eversolo is doing. And there's no excuse for that, other than they didn't think of it first. You know, so fine. BLA comer, but do it right. Do it even better. You know, you can do that. You're a big company in DCS. You sell and move a lot of volume on some very expensive products. So pony up, boys. Do it right. Okay. That wasn't the FiO streamer. Okay, so anyway, we showed everything we could. I'm going to abandon the FiO plans for today. FiO, get your act together. When I Google something, make sure it comes up. Work your search engines, boys. Okay, SEO. Caesar asks, have you ever listened to the amp in the Bartok Apex? Yes, I've listened to it. It's nice. It's good. It's good. It's not. I mean, I think you'd be better off with an external amp. It does a nice job, but it's not. You know, but there's a reason I didn't buy the amp in the Lena stack. I think that the amp in the Lena stack is the weak link in this whole arrangement. Of the three boxes, the clock and the DAC do far more heavy lifting than the amp, and the amp is a little underpowered in my opinion, for something that's $8,000 or $9,000. You should a couple thousand more, and you're into that Ray Samuels. There's a lot of amps, really powerful amps in that area that could in that price range that you have options to buy that are beautiful. You could get a Felix Envy. You could get, for that money, you can get into the Woo stuff. You can get a phenomenal amp for the money of the DCS amp. And I don't think that thing has the horses to play with some of the bigger boys. I'm sure it sounds beautiful, and I've spent time with it, and it does sound nice and everything, but it's not going to manhandle the Modhouse Tungsten. It's just not. It's not that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's not. I think that I always thought that it was the weak link to me, and I didn't bother buying it. I didn't feel the need to buy it. And when I've got some phenomenal world-class amps sitting around here, yeah, I'm good. I didn't feel the need to own that solid-state amp, even though it makes a nice set. I'm more radical than that. But yeah, the amp in the Bartok, it's good. It's good, but it's it's not going to drive everything you need it to drive, and I think that there's better out there. So I would, if you're buying a Bartok, I would buy the Bartok for the DAC, not for the amplifier. And having the headphone stage in it, kind of doesn't make sense to me. Personally, in my opinion, you know. K19 looks like a modem router with beehive sides. K17 is nicer, slicker, old school look. Yeah, I don't like the screen on that K17 as much, though. That's the only thing. I want that. I'm into the touchscreens. I think the touchscreens is where everybody needs to go. You guys are obsessed with streamers. When you get past 50, anytime you can stream, you do. Okay. Oh, brother, guys, I'm going to jail. Anthony says, no, it's not. No, that's not it, Michael. It looks like the Ever Solo or Hi-Fi Rose. Okay, I've got something wrong on the DCS. I mean, on the FiO thing. I just can't find whatever it is they're talking about. I Googled it, boys. I Googled it. It just didn't give me the results I wanted. Damn the luck. Yeah, it's just not coming up. All right, whatever. Okay. Have you seen DCS has launched a new product? Yes, it's... Oh, God, DCS. It's a $200,000 system. Nope, that's not it. It's another one of these. It's not the Vivaldi. It's called the Varese. The Varese. There it is. And it's, yeah, it's an unobtainium for mortal men. I'm sure it sounds like the voice of God, but it's going to cost you godlike money. They don't even put, it's so expensive they don't put the price here. But it's like 200 grand or something. It's obscene money. Obscene money. Crazy stuff. JTB says these companies are always looking to cut corners and save money in different areas. Many times they will give you the same junk, plastic, remote control they include in the $200 model for a $3,000 unit. Yeah, that's true. Or if they, in some cases, they don't even give you a remote. And got to buy its remote sold separately. Nephilim, when he sees screens at the neuron that makes him happy, the neuron that makes him happy activates. When he sees the screens, the neuron that makes him happy activates. Absolutely. It's like a dopamine release, man. A good screen. Neil's going to a February 8th meetup at San Jose. Just in case anybody wants to listen to the Macbeth IEM. Ryan Dietz in the house. Cheers, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, somebody was asking, what's your delay between purchase and delivery right now? I thought you said you were getting closer to 6 months. Is that true? Or was it still longer? Average, not like pinning you down and a court of law, but like roughly, is it roughly 6 months or is it longer than that right now? Anyway, if you can answer that, because somebody was asking about it earlier, what the turnaround was. And they said it was a year, and I said, I don't think it's that. I said, you've been catching up from our talks, from our many chats. And I saw somebody who was it who sent me a photo? Somebody sent me a photo of a heat-treated cover for their tungsten that was gorgeous. They did like a heat-treated coating on their screen and on their covers on the tungsten. I thought it was fantastic, really pretty. It's been longer than 6 months, but we're making progress catching up. Mimic orders are the ones that are approximately a year, unfortunately. Oh, because yeah, okay, that makes sense. But the ones that are directly, it's been longer than 6 months. Okay, so order direct from Ryan, and you'll save yourself some time. But you got to get in quick. You got to be a quick clicker, because man, he opens up those things, and he's in the enviable position that everybody seems to want to own a tungsten still a year later. And isn't that a great thing? I think that's fantastic, man. I think that's fantastic. So you're not insomniac, says Nephilim. That's great. That's great. Hey, let's take a quick turn through some of the HeadFi classicals. And before we go, and then I'll jump off the air. So we'll just take a quick look through here. See, it's already in May, so it's not too bad. It's about half a year. So, guys, get your orders in. Make Ryan rich. He deserves it. Okay. So here are the HeadFi classifieds, and let's take a look. I'm going to stretch this mic over so it's a little more in front of me while I have my head turned. Otherwise, I go off mic. And so pardon for the jiggle and wiggle that this thing just did. And there was some cool stuff, but it may not be up front. Fat Frequency Scarlett Minis. I haven't heard of that. Ooh, Audio WA22 Black. That's a push-pull amplifier, boys. How much? $2,500. Yeah, a little steep. You can get that under $2,000. I think that's a little much for that amp. Good amp, though. Very good amp. HiFi 5 SE, $300. A little on the bright side for me. Checking out here. Checking out. Let's get to some good stuff. Yggdrasil, $1,500. That's a steal. Look at this MySphere. I think it's probably too much for it, but man, you don't see these come up every day. Yeah, I auditioned one of these a long time ago. Look at that. You gotta get the circumaural sort of thing. These are wacky looking headphones, man, but all right. You know, if you're into it. I don't know what they sold for new, but apparently it's the last time he's ever gonna bump them on the thread. You've been warned. For audio, K5, this is too expensive because they don't cost much more than that new. Felix Euphoria, $2,000. I don't know what that one sells for. It's not the. I know what the Envy sells for. Envy at $2,000 would be like, hell yeah, go buy that. Elysian Annihilator, $2,300. Boy, these guys are holding some high prices up here today. I think $3,250 for Sapphire. I can now, and this is the 3.5. Okay, I mean that's. I think they'll fall to 3 before this is all done. Oh, this is a nice example, though. Very nice example. So maybe it's worth the extra $250. No micro scratches on his HiFiman. I'm so glad that deal fell apart. The one that when I went to sell mine. This is gorgeous, though. I mean, this is just world-class sound, boys. There's nothing wrong with the original Sesvara. It's all in your mind. Is it topping? Looking pretty good. Here's an is this an Eversolo? Oh no, I just at first glance it looked like an Eversolo. It's not. Want to buy Bowers and Wilkins. ZMF Caldera closed, $3,700. Ooh, that's steep for a used headphone. Boys, get real. Give folks a deal. Got to give folks a deal on this stuff. Get them excited. Meze Elite Tungsten. It's a colored version of the Elite, $2,450. That's a good price. That's a pretty good price. That might be worth doing. Somebody wants a ZMF Atrium. It's a headphone we started the show with today. Love that headphone. So good. Unique Melody Mest. Is this the Mark II? It looks like the Mark II. $1,250. Guys, where's the realism in these prices? You got to give folks a discount. Get that thing under $1,000, please. Here you go, Meze Lyric version 1, $800. That's a pretty good deal. Nice close back. That's about what that headphone should go for. Molnar, $600. Good company. I have the East Adit version of that amp. ZMF Atrium Open, want to buy. Good on you. He's looking good. Hi-Fi. Nope. Gonna say that. ZMF Atrium Open, $2,000. That's a good deal. That would be worth buying if it's in good shape. Love that. Zipping through. Let's find some more. Just reload. I love doing this. This is what I do late at night. You know, sitting in front of the TV, watching some show you don't really care about. Guy going through those Head-Fi classicals. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Nice shit. Nice shit. That's good shit right there. Good price too. $600. Get yourself a Molnar. So nice. So nice. Jotunheim 525. Pretty good price. Nice. Some of this stuff, man, way up there in price for what it is. Shouldn't be. You gotta give people breaks. Somebody's selling the screws. 6 screws? What? Oh, that's the version of the HE6. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Not so bad. Here's a case. You can get a case for your SP3000 for $100. Oops. Somebody on camera. Check this out. $514 for a Jallarhorn. You know what? This was an enjoyable enough headphone. I would give this a recommendation at that price. It's normally well over $1,000. It's Kennerton. You know, it's a kind of it's a smaller brand. But I heard these. I had the stabilized, which cost a little more in house. But I was very impressed with the sound of those. I thought that was a wonderful, more of a consumer sound, but very nice. Great headphone, man. Great headphone. Verite Close 1900. Wait, that's a stabilized version. That's a good deal. If you're into this, if you're into that sound. Somebody's clearing house. Oh, now this one's got my heart. New Boca, open back already for resale. I love this headphone. This is a great headphone, boys. This is a good headphone. It's a good price too, because I think they're $1,200, $1,300 for the for the nice version of these. I could be wrong, but yeah. Yes, please. Give me that. Give me that, and that's all I need. I just need that one thing. It's all I need to be happy. Just one more headphone. Tragic. Tragic. That's awesome. That's awesome. Looking for something big. Somebody selling something really, like, you know, crazy. Oh, here's something crazy. K and Solo. It's pretty high price, but this is an expensive amp anyway. You can get into a Soul for $5,300. I think these sell for like $7,000. That's a nice discount. Significant. So fun. So fun. We'll do a couple more and then we'll call it. Just zipping through 20 pages real quick. On the Head-Fi classifieds. I just like doing this. This is just fun. It's like, you know, hey, you can get an Apex module for free. For your 64 audio headphones, IEMs. Shanling, $995, nice. IDSD, that's better. It's a better price for that. $450 for a Rebel Amp Green, nice. Seos has one of those, I remember. Mext, $679, that's good. That was a hot headphone a few years ago. Those IEMs, man, they fall fast in price because they're replaced so fast. Bad investment, IEMs. If you're looking for stock advice, don't buy IEMs. Buy headphones. Here we go. Eversolo A6. This is the master. This is pretty much what it costs new. This is the gold version. I have the silver version. So this has got an updated clock in it. That's the deal with it, but it's the same form factor as the other A6. It just seems like, I don't know, the price seems a little off. Seems a little high. I mean, I'd want to see that around 1,000, right? I guess you can make the argument it's a current version and everything. Look at this, SP3000. This is why you don't buy DAPs, boys. Don't buy new DAPs. Buy them used. SP3000, $2,000. Seriously. 950 Bokeh Open. Nice. Nice. Somebody wants to move some product. That's a good price for that. Headphone stand, $150. Woo Audio. Let's do a couple more. Felix Euphoria. Oh, that's the other one. Who saw that? That's a rerun. We saw that one earlier. Such good stuff. Here's Triton. Anybody heard that Triton? I have not. Utopia OG, $2,000. Guys, you can get the Utopia 2, the updated, the 2023 version for $2,000. Who's this guy's on crack? That's nuts. Hey, hey, now here's a deal. Cord Mojo, $275. You get a nice little DAC out of it for $275, and it's a decent amp. That's a righteous DAC. That's a deal. If you're looking for a cheap DAC, that's a way to go. Abyss, $4,000, still holding price. You know if they'll sell it for that. $2,850, but this is the 2.5mm version of the Sapphire. Okay, but you know, shots fired, boys. HE-1000 unveiled. $1,950. Is that what they sell for? New? Craziness. Craziness. I'm just looking for something. Oh, here we go. Here's our ender. Warwick Acoustics Aperio. $27,000. And it's all yours. 75 easy payments across 35 years. You can have this Warwick Aperio. Nice headphone. I haven't heard them yet. That's a headphone I want. All right. That's going to wrap up our... I'll go through the last of the chats, but I love doing that. I love... there's so much fun in that. It's so great. I love looking through the used stuff. Especially when I have money. It'd be like, I'm going to buy that. Okay, so I need to go back, find out where I was at in the chat. I think it was up here. Hipster, Sajan, yes. Ryan, Nephilim, actually working late tonight, been trying to go to bed earlier, get more sleep. Kind of important things, guys. Don't sacrifice your health. I got to update this screen back here. I just noticed it's got Chicago Bears on it. I'm like, Bear season is long gone, man. It was gone before it was over. I'll have to pull that off and put something else up there. There's my YouTube stuff. Okay. Happy sleep. Get some sleep, Ryan. You need it. We need you rested and ready to go in the game. Build more headphones. Jonathan says he got a pair of Caldera stabilized clothes for $3,200. Yeah, that's good. That's better. How many HiFiman unveiled are for sale already? Well, we found the one for $2,000. Seems a little high to me. I think that's what you can buy those for new. Ryan says, Hipster Cow does narrow it down, and yes, you're coming up very soon. He forgot. He'd forgotten to order the Caracoat earlier when he should have. Waiting now, and he hopes he gets that. In a few days, he can finish yours up. That's great, man. Look forward to that. Sajan, how are you? He's 6'1", but you looks like you tower over me. I know. Sounds amazing, man. Saw a picture of you when you were at Audeze. At least we know basketball will be an option if all else fails. Yeah, he's tall. He's a big guy. But he brought his LCD-4 to Audeze, and it was the only Audeze LCD-4 on the property, and OG LCD-4, and it was spectacular. Just raise a glass to that. Even the Audeze guys were like, "Oh yeah, that's one of our good ones." Phenomenal. Alanetta says he got a pair of U12Ts off HeadFi a while back. It had a loose faceplate. Just a little bit of glue on that thing. There's nothing. $600. He ended up having Audio 64 Audio fix it for another $250. Still not a bad total cost. Oh, that's a great price. U12T. U12T sounds amazing out of the Aegis. Yes. Ryan Dietz, Michael, Pete, and Trevor are now working on some tungsten grills with a rainbow coating. I think those are coming through. That's what I saw. That's what I saw. I'm trying to like remember my brain, like what's going on with the connection I made, and I think it was Trevor who sent me a photo of the grill, and I thought it was really cool. But it looked like it looks to me like it's heat treated. You know, like when you heat something up. Not sure if that's what I saw. Yes, that was what I saw. Funny Nephilim, 6'5" people. People, he's 5'11". That's my height. I'm 5'11". Nephilim says, head-fi classifies are fun. We should always do this. I like doing it every now and then. I don't want to do it every week, but I think as a little aside, just to get a sense of where the market is and what's going on right now. And what I saw today was a lot of stuff that was a little on the high side price-wise, you know? Little bit. Some stuff there were some good deals in there, though. You'd be okay with a ruby red. You could do yours tomorrow. Otherwise... USMC will probably Saturday or Sunday. But we're doing Ryan's business here on the air. I love it. It's fantastic. I don't care. Nephilim says he's 6'5". You better give him his headphones tomorrow, regardless. It's the old Star Wars line. Don't piss off the Wookiee. Ruby Red is similar based on pics, but it's totally up to him. Ruby Red seems cool. Saja, go for it. Sorry, people. He's living vicariously through everyone. Oh, I love it, boys. This is great. This is what it's about. X loves hearing when people get new stuff. It's life-changing. Fantastic. If they don't look that different, he really doesn't mind. He's currently traveling, so won't be able to listen to them regardless. Oh, you can wait a couple days. Rainbow looks heat treated, but it's actually very thin DLC coating for his understanding. Oh, that's cool, man. I didn't know that. And everybody know when Sajan will be home, so we know when to have all of his stuff back, because we all borrowed it. Snuck over to his house and borrowed it. Oh, too fun. Oh, too fun. Okay, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me on this Director's Garage Humpday Happy Hour Hangout. I thank you guys for stopping by today. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I had a good time today, and we got to look and listen to some fun stuff. Very cool. And more episodes coming on the way. You know the deal. I'm going to get to it when I get to it. But for now, these live streams are kind of like keeping us afloat and keeping the band together while I get ready to do some bigger things, whatever they may be. So thank you. Hit the thumbs up, which is the same as tipping your waiters and waitresses on the way out the door, and recycle those bottles and cans. And we're going to close the bar up. And until next time, I'll see you guys before you know it. Cheers, everyone. Have a good rest of your week. Hope you enjoy it.